Hello, I'm Jeff Walker, writer of The Long Lost War. You're on my channel again. Welcome. Today we're discussing about The Long Lost War, my most successful book that's out now on Audible, ebook, and print on demand. The book has had favorable reviews, both on Goodreads, Amazon, and on the Audible site. I've had some high marks, so it's roughly around 5-star review. It's been getting great reviews, actually, from many of the reviewers, which I thank immensely for taking the time to read my book and give it their full endorsement. Some have commented that it should be a little bit longer, which it probably could have been, but for the time being, it is what it is. There is another book I'm working on, so if you enjoyed this book, there is another prequel book on the way. It will deal along with John's journey as different various clones throughout the years, starting from the beginning and probably to its ultimate conclusion. So I'm thinking that is something that if you've enjoyed this book, you should definitely keep an interest and look out for when it comes out. Will it be out this year? I don't know. It's hard to say. I have so many things on my plate right now. I have The Mysterious World of Professor Dark and Shadow to work on, which I've kind of gotten off track on. I'm about halfway through that book. So I need to get back on track on that one. But I'm also doing several other stories that I've created. One I've really started working on immensely is the adventures of Deep Contact, which is about the first interstellar spaceship leaving Earth and making contact. It's called the Massive Planet. It's about them running into a planet that is beyond the size of Jupiter, and it's an adventure that I think is, hopefully it'll be a successful. You can read it right now on Wattpad. If you go there, you can look up the title. You can find it there. I have other stories on Wattpad and Inkit that I'm trying to work on. I've kind of put in the chapters, and they're there for anybody to read. I will go back to them. Those are some of the titles I'm working on after a few of these titles. From time to time, I shift my focus. That's how I am. I write. I have multiple stories, and I want to write each one. But I tend to take my mindset to each one as they inspire and come into my brain. I have no set plans. As a writer, I know you're supposed to flesh out things, but I don't. I have no mindset of that, because my books are done in my mind. I know where they're going to end, where they're going to begin, who's the characters. It's kind of strange. It's kind of like I envision the books in my mind like I would a movie, and I can edit and I can redo, and it's all works for me in that fashion. That's how I am. I write down maybe a premise and maybe a few characters if I find I need to flesh them out a bit more. But for the most part, I do this as it comes to me. And that's how I write. I do this as it comes to me. I know many writers are like, well, you should write everything down and plot all this out, and that way you won't be confused. I'm like, I'm not confused. I know exactly where everybody needs to be. I know how the situation needs to look. Even in Professor Dark series, I know exactly how this book is going to end, and I know how the characters and where the plot is and where it just all falls into place for me. There may be some criticism if somebody disagrees, but I generally know where things need to fall. And that's not being egotistical or anything. It's not. I just generally know how these stories should take shape. The Mysterious World of Professor Dark and His Shadow was edited and done rightly so by a woman online. I've forgotten her name already. Got the book here, thankfully, so I can properly endorse her. Let's see. I know it's bad that I don't know her name off the heart of my, but I did thank her, acknowledge her. Yes, Laura Ozel. She was my long-distance editor, if you will, and proofreader. She helped us structure the stories, and I haven't heard from her for a while. So, Laura, if you're out there, let me know how you're doing. I mean, we lost contact. I mean, I have sent you a few emails, but you haven't gotten back to me. And I hope you're doing well in this pandemic. I hope that you're doing well wherever you are, because I'm not sure where she is, to be honest. I'm not sure if she's on the. I think she might be overseas or not. I'm not sure. And that's how it is. I put my stories out there. She made a contact to me to tell me that she would help edit my stories, and I thanked her immensely. And she did such a great job, and I have nothing but thanks and praise for her editing skills for that one. Generally, I can't really pay editors. What she did was as a fan service, which I'm ever so grateful to fans. If they ever love my book and want to help edit the book, I'm all for that. But generally, I have no money to pay anybody to do these things. I do all this by myself. I promote these books. I do my own covers for the book, because I used to be a graphic designer, as I mentioned before in my last video. So I tend to do my own covers, which I know is a no-no. And I had when I first did Outer Red, the cover was so bad, somebody really mocked it big time. And then, of course, I've had family say that it wasn't the best too, so I had to redo the cover a bit more, and it turned out a little bit better. And then they were right; it was less is more. I do tend to get a little overly done in the books because I think of them as like movie posters, but you can't think that way. You got to think of like a book cover that will grab you. So I'm learning that as I go. I tried to keep some of my newer books simplified, but we'll see how it goes. I probably eventually will have to relinquish my cover making skills to somebody else out there at some time when I can afford it. Right now, it's financially not possible. But anyway, the Long Lost War is available now, and I hope you go and read it. It's a labor of love for that one, because when the prequel book comes out, it will explain more about the war and more about John's constant cloning. So that book, I'd like to think it would get done this year, but I'm not too hopeful. So you'll just have to, go to my website and keep up on tabs on me and how I'm doing. I do let people know what I'm working on. And I might do updates here from time to time to let you know how things are progressing in that regard. And so this is just another video to promote The Long Lost War. Available right now. I think you will be very, very happy with this book, because I was. I've never been generally happier with how this book turned out. As you can see the cover here, this is my original copy of the book, and as I see, like, there was some minor problems with the printing I think I've corrected that, and if I haven't, please let me know. But generally, yeah, I'm going to I'm going to have to keep doing covers for you books because that's who I am. So bear with me. Uh, these videos probably will get better as we go, and but I'm here to promote my books. I'm not here to teach. I'm not here to tell you how to write better because I can't. I I do writing the way I know, and I do writing and everything shaping the book the way I know. Formatting was really hard for me because I used Quark Express, and Vellum came along and it was so much better. Believe me, go buy Vellum. If you're a writer, that would be the one piece of advice I give you. Go get Vellum. It will help you immensely. I know there are some people that prefer to write on uh, the Microsoft, which for the most part it is good unless you know how to format that yourself. Um, but if you do not, you can still transfer it over to Vellum and it will automatically do it for you, which is a lifesaver. Um, but I've been looking for a program that will do it all, and this was it. And it was like, it's saved me so much time, and yeah, and that's how I managed to get this book out faster than my last book because it was such a lifesaver. And I would also recommend the Pro Writing Aid. I think it's called Pro Writing Aid. It helped me a lot with spelling errors, um, looking up words that shouldn't be in there, sticky sentences, that sort of thing. And it was good. I kind of lost it because I couldn't afford it anymore, but I will try to get it back at some point. It does. You can do it online, but it only does certain things, so um, it will be a challenge for me. But once I have the money to acquire it again, I will. In the meantime, I'm hard at work writing. I have the sequel prequel book of The Long Lost War to work on. I have the full novel of Professor Dark and Miss Shadow to work on. I have my Wattpad stories that I have to work on. I have a lot on my plate, and that's why I said I don't have time to sit here and tell you how to write as an author. So if you do find this and you're an author and you're hoping that will give some insight, there's so many out there online right now that I think that's enough. Although generally some of them don't really explain how. They just sort of hint. So you have to really do your research, and that's some advice I can give you right there. But that's all I can talk about for now. The Long Lost War. It will be free as of February 1st and 2nd on Amazon.com. You can click the link to my Amazon site in my comments or my about page area, and I try my best to help everybody as much as I can. But I'm so busy. I really can't answer everybody's emails about certain things, and I get a lot of most of it's companies trying to get money out of me. It's like, I have no money to give you. Unless you start buying my books, and, helping me, financially. I mean, I do this more as a therapy for me. I don't write this for other people. I write this for me. I'm a person that wants to read this kind of book. And that's how I write. I write like I want to read this. So I don't really cater to fan input that much. I mean, generally, there's some. I listen to my wife. She gives me some advice, and sometimes I'll take it. Sometimes I'll try to see if I can, but for the most part, I'm pretty much stuck in where I want to go. And Laura knows that all too much. I wasn't really willing to budge on a few things, so I kind of left it in there. So I'm not sure if maybe that miffed her. No, I don't think so. She was generally happy with the books, and she was nothing but praising of the stories that I've written. So yeah, I write science fiction, fantasy, and paranormal thriller. I would call it more. So that's who I am. The book Long Lost War will be available, and so will your service. Your service is required. The science fiction drama about robots that have taken over the Earth, and humanity is servicing them now. That's available free on February 1st to 2nd on Amazon.com. So if you want to check me out and see what another type of story is, please go. And that's it for now. Pretty much all I can do right now. Maybe this will get better. I seem a little bit more comfortable today than I did yesterday. So hopefully I will do better. All right? Until then, I will see you. Stay safe, everybody.